Blue Period is a series about a young man finding something he's passionate about and the highs and lows that come with that. That's it. That's the entire series. That's literally all the story is. Why are you still here? Okay, obviously, you've seen the runtime of this video. This video is not 15 seconds long. Obviously, I have more to say about this. However, that's where the difficulty comes in. Blue Period is such an anomaly of a series that trying to put the way it makes you feel into words is almost impossible. And trust me, I have tried. This script I've been working on for about 2 years, and I've never been able to get the wording just right. For a long time, the closest I got to explaining why Blue Period is such a good series is to say, as someone who is trying to follow their passion and create videos and subject and stuff that I am this passionate about, Blue Period is a series that the only way I could describe it exists on a level that is soul-touching. As I said, I've been trying to work on this script for probably 2 years, maybe longer. I honestly don't know at this point. But I've never been able to put how this series makes me feel into words. However, recently, or maybe in the future, I don't actually know when this video is coming out. That's a good point. There's another video on this channel about my 16 favourite animes of all time. And you may be wondering, hey, why is it a top 16 and not a top 10? If you want to know that, go check out the video. That is actually a reason, not just for additional watch time. But in that video, I talked about Blue Period. And in that video, I think I finally managed to articulate the way I wanted to describe Blue Period in a way that feels good enough. And I'm going to explain that right here, right now. To try and explain why Blue Period will always be one of my favourite animes of all time is so hard, because to try and explain it is to try and objectively present a literal manifestation of the spark of creativity. Not the abstract concept visible in someone else's creation, but a tangible and observable manifestation of the very essence of the primordial construct of such an idea as a physical construct. And that's a lot of words, that's a mouthful of words, and that sounds very arrogant and very self-aggrandizing and very obnoxious. I am very much aware of that, but those words in that order to try and explain a series like Blue Period is the only way I can convey verbally how this series made me feel. The real way to explain Blue Period is simply the description to say, if you understand, you understand. If not, you will never understand. There is no way to put the experience of Blue Period to a creative person into words. It is simply that look between two people who both understand something to be true, and they look at each other, their eyes meet, and there's just a moment of no words need to be spoken. Blue Period is a series about Yaguchi, a high school student who doesn't know what he wants to do with his life until one day he discovers his passion and throws his all into it. In Yaguchi's case, it was art. In my case, it's creating whatever you want to call this. Creative writing, video editing, discussing subjects I am passionate about. That is my passion. And in your case, it may be anything else. Whatever your passion is what your passion is. There's a line in the series that says, art is a language without words that allows one to convey that which can never be verbally expressed. Call it arrogant, call it obnoxious, hell, even call it pretentious if you want. But in every video I make, in creating it in a way only I can make the content I can, a part of me is forever stitched into the content. And if someone were to try and imitate my content in the way I make it, it would never capture the same essence. This is something the series brings up when Yaguchi is trying to understand composition in his own work by imitating the style of another artist, Moteki Tamina. And the answer that is given is Yaguchi doesn't understand the essence of the art. I'm guessing a lot of you know who Jacksepticeye is. In the mid-2010s, he was one of the faces of gaming on YouTube. Him, Mark and Felix were the big three of gaming. And to get where they were, all three of them did the exact same thing. They played video games, they were loud, and they uploaded on a daily basis. So if you want to have millions of subscribers too, that's all you gotta do. So, off you pop, go start your gaming channel and report back in a year. Tell me how many millions of subscribers you have. Actually, that might be a bit inconvenient, so I'll just do one better. I'll just tell you my numbers, shall I? Back when I was making gaming content, I was uploading on a daily basis, I was loud, and I was playing video games. The exact same thing that Jack, Mark, and Felix were all doing. And after 1 year of making content, I had a whopping 68 subscribers and barely any views. But that's what they did, right? You just play video games, you be loud, you upload a lot of content. I did exactly what they did, but I didn't succeed. Why is that? The simple answer is, while I did love gaming, it wasn't the thing that ignited a passion inside me. The thing that made Let's Play seem so cool was the passion Jack, Mark, or Felix had for their videos when they were making them. They were conveying something that even if you followed the recipe of their content to the letter, you wouldn't be able to recreate. Because it was never the actual gameplay that made their content so entertaining. It was the passion and creativity they had that they conveyed that only they could do. In a lot of cases, the reason an artist paints the paintings they do is because they want to express what they cannot convey in words. Anyone can try and recreate something successful or popular, but if they don't understand why it became successful or popular, the likelihood of succeeding is slim. I'm not going to say my videos are art. However, behind every video I make, beyond the words and footage, there is something that is in my facial expressions, the way my body moves, and the way my words are spoken that cannot be verbally expressed. The only way I can describe it is the fire of passion. As I've said, this video has taken me 2 years, maybe longer, to write and get out because I have scrapped so many scripts when talking about the series because I have never had the words to convey how this series made me feel. And even at this point, I don't know if I've used the right words to convey how this series made me feel. So that's what I decided to do. I decided to make a video on Blue Period about why I could not make a video on Blue Period. As I said a minute ago, Blue Period is a series about the joys of falling in love with a passion and the ups and downs of that. There is no ulterior reason for Yaguchi needing to paint. There is no reason for Yaguchi to need to paint. Blue Period isn't set in a world where Yaguchi is the chosen one, destined to become the greatest artist of all time by the end of the series and stand upon the throne of artists. No, he is just an artist. Blue Period isn't set in a world where everything revolves around art, where every person aspires to be an artist, and if you don't want to be that, then you're a failure because the whole world revolves around paint. No. It isn't set in a world where an evil supernatural force has taken over the world and now a dystopian future exists where all forms of expressionism is banned. But that is until Yaguchi finds the magic special paintbrush that only his bloodline can wield. And through painting his painting, he ignites a passion in people and rises up with a team of ragtag strangers that by the end of the series are closer than family. No, Blue Period isn't set in a world where every issue is resolved with painting battles where we'll paint with our hearts and the loser will be forever thrown out of the world. No, Blue Period isn't set in a world where painting matters. Blue Period is just a series that is set in the real world and happens to be about painting. If you were to ask some random person on the other side of the world, who is Yaguchi? They'd have no idea because he's not important. He doesn't matter. He's just one person following their passion in Japan. Unlike other series, the world doesn't revolve around Yaguchi. The series revolves around Yaguchi, but the actual world of Blue Period doesn't revolve around him. I could even say Blue Period takes place in the same universe as Haiku, Steins Gate, Kaiji, Ultimate Survivor, Clanad. Why not? I could say it fits into this world and it wouldn't change a thing because none of them are the main focus of the world. They just exist in a world where the series focuses around them. Whereas if I was to say Blue Period exists in the same world as Kaiju Number 8, Attack on Titan, and My Hero Academia, suddenly there'd be some issues. The whole argument would fall apart because the whole world and the story revolves around the main characters or the subject of the series. If Blue Period were set in the same world as My Hero Academia, where are all the painting works? If Blue Period was set in the same world as Attack on Titan, where are all the paintings of Titans? Actually, one could make an argument that Francis Goya's Saturn is a depiction of a Titan eating a human. And it does take place in the 1800s, which actually would line up quite well with Attack on Titan. But that's a We could get into this, but that is a whole argument that would be a tangent video worth of discussion and goes into some pretty heavy spoilers about Attack on Titan. So let's just move on. If Blue Period was set in the world of Kaiju number 8, where are all the paintings of kaijus or the destruction of the city? Sorry, Yaguchi, whatever it's called, your exam has had to be cancelled because the entire town has been destroyed by a kaiju. Where are those moments? Blue Period is just a story about someone who loves to paint. This is a story being played out all over the world right now in real life. Somewhere in the world right now, there is someone who didn't know what they wanted to do with their life until they stumbled upon their love for art. Do you know their name? No, of course you don't. Because at this point in the world, they're nobody. And even if they do accumulate millions of fans, there will still be people who have no idea who they are. And this is why I can't make a video on Blue Period, because the feeling that you get from watching Blue Period cannot be verbally expressed. And to try and put that feeling into a box and give it tangible words is to destroy what made Blue Period Blue Period. And for that reason, this is why I asked you to go watch it, and this is why I asked you to go read it, because it is an experience that is unlike any other series. Thank you, and goodbye.